think you know me.
That is the hardest part of that ring.
Hello and welcome to episode number 97 of Hardest Part of the Ring, the podcast where four friends get together to celebrate the wonder of professional wrestling. And I'm obligated to say that we're officially on the road to WrestleMania.
I'm pointing at a sign, Adam. And actually I'm pointing at a screen with a sign on it.
My name is Adam and that was Sam.
Hi.
John is also here.
Hello.
And Brett is here as well.
Yeah, I'm here and I'm pointing at my screen with a pirate flag on it.
Oh,
I already hate that pirate flag. I hate that whole...
Oh man, I love it.
But Pirates of the Caribbean is still hip, right?
Wait, no, isn't it to do with the Tampa Bay Bucks?
Yeah.
Yeah, but any of that kind of stuff.
There's probably some Tampa Bay history with pirates as well, is there? There must be.
Is there?
Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there is. It's not like WWE to fudge the facts, is it?
No. And it's not like us to fudge anything. So let's keep going. Let's keep this professional. Last week, we did a rewind episode and we reviewed Wrestling with Shadows, which was a lot of fun. Sam, did you...
I listened to it. I really enjoyed it. It's a very good podcast.
Is it?
You guys are making the best wrestling podcast that I listen to.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sam.
Indeed.
That means a lot.
You're welcome.
Do you think that when you listen back to the episodes with you on?
I feel like the episodes with me on are 25% worse, but I haven't figured out why yet.
In theory, they're 33% better.
I'm not entirely sure. I think I've got a bit of a kind of annoying voice. It's not a voice for podcasting, but I do it anyway because I love it.
We're on episode 97.
You've got a face for podcasting.
You've got to back yourself. Right, so yeah, we're obviously here to talk about WWE Royal Rumble 2020. But before we do that, I think we should probably touch on Worlds Collide, which was on the Saturday night. NXT versus NXT UK. Usually we get a takeover. How do we feel about having a Worlds Collide instead? Brett, what do you reckon?
I did not watch Worlds Collide. So
how do we feel about Worlds Collide? John?
I don't know.
I didn't watch it either. It was my birthday weekend, so screw you guys.
How do we feel about Worlds Collide, Sam?
I thought it was rubbish. How do you feel about it, Adam?
Rubbish.
No, I mean, it was okay.
I mean, I'm not saying rubbish. I'm just shocked that you said rubbish.
I wasn't invested. I felt like a lot of the matches didn't quite kind of get into second gear. I'm not sure any of them quite delivered on what they were meant to be. I mean, I would preface this with the fact that I watched it with someone who doesn't watch wrestling and was thoroughly bored. So I was kind of a little bit like...
production of it as like, because the previous one, because there was one before, wasn't there? That was like a bit budget
like
for
a network
WWE,
special
wasn't it?
Before, yeah.
And I didn't rate that so much. And the matches seemed to be really exhibition, like really light as well in that one. So was it the same for this?
No, I feel like this was very much testing the waters for like a kind of a permanent pay-per-view going forwards. They kept referencing this is the first Worlds Collide, so kind of like chances are they'll be back again next year. And to be fair, on that front, they really did deliver. Like kind of the title change in the Cruiserweight match is a big kind of like show of intention that they are planning on bringing NXT UK more into the fold of the greater wrestling kind of area in WWE, despite having no appearances at the Royal Rumble.
Tony Storm was...
Oh, yeah, apologies. I forgot about Tony.
I sort of get the feeling she's going to transition to NXT proper. I think Vince is a fan.
Do you think? I think she's going to go main roster.
Or main roster.
Not many people go straight to main roster these days, unless you're Edge.
I mean, Tony Storm has done her NXT time, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
and she was Mae Young Classic. She's...
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's not like she's going from the indies straight to main roster. What's your beef, John? What's your problem with Tony Storm?
I think she should go to NXT. I don't think she should go main roster.
Why do you hate her? It's unbelievable.
I'm not a big fan of Aussies.
Rather than hate, maybe that's he loves her and wants her to stay, with great competition.
That's a good point.
Maybe.
Controversial opinion. I don't rate Ilya Dragunov.
Okay, I'm worried about this podcast already, Sam, because I feel like you're already alienating quite a few people. There are a lot of people who think the match quality on Worlds Collide was higher than the Rumble. I think some of the matches were amazing, and I think Dragunov is incredible.
I've only seen a few of his matches, but I like him a lot.
I did like him, and I'm a little on the fence with him. The thing that he brings is intensity, and like he just goes at it a million miles an hour, doesn't he, when he does stuff, which is great. But that's all it's been for me in the last year.
Man, that spinning headbutt he does is like a move from Street Fighter.
Yeah, that is cool.
The main problem is that he was performing in an arena full of people who had no idea who he was. So he got absolutely no reaction when he came out.
Yeah, that sucks.
You see, they messed up because what they should have done is have him like appear beforehand with his wife and then say like he's sick of the show of WWE, and then he should have killed Finn Balor. And then who'd be Finn Balor's protege? Jordan Devlin. Jordan Devlin should then travel to Russia and fight Ilya Dragunov.
Yeah.
And that right there is money, you know. You can have that one, Vince.
Oh, God. Okay, right. I think we should probably just have a little break now. I mean, I thought we'd talk about Worlds Collide for about 20 seconds, but I think it's already showing that we are all pumped and ready to chat hard about wrestling. So let's have a quick break, and then let's talk about the Royal Rumble 2020.
Oh, wait a minute. He's going for it on the apron, the hardest part of the ring, and both superstars down on the outside.
Royal Rumble 2020.
That does not sound great.
It's not going to catch on.
I'm not a fan.
No, sorry guys.
Oh, I'm okay with it. I mean, hey, you're not going to be able to do that again now, ever?
I'm going to do it every pay-per-view this year. It was held at the Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, home of the Houston Astros. The attendance was an impressive 42,715.
Wow.
Comms team, lots of different people. We, as you'll know, if you're a regular listener to the podcast, planned to all watch this together at Sam's house. Brett, what happened?
I failed. Yeah.
Brett didn't make it, so it was John and myself and Sam. Sam, thank you so much for hosting. Great.
You guys are
place.
always welcome round. Apart from you, Brett, who lost your invitation and never welcome round.
It looked so much fun, though.
It's good. It's really good.
I made Rumble breakfast.
Well, when you say made, you brought some croissants.
I invented the croissant sandwich.
Which I couldn't eat, don't forget. So you made a breakfast and then sort of shoved it in my face and like almost trolled me.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have told me you were vegan.
He's doing veganuary, and you bought a load of butter-based breakfasts. But yeah, go on then, Sam. Tell us about your croissant sandwich, as if this is
To be fair,
amazing...
the croissant sandwich is one of the highlights of the Rumble weekend for me.
The croissant sandwich is a croissant on bottom. You flatten it a little bit to turn it into like the first slice. A spread of jam, another croissant on top. You flatten that to make it into the second slice. Baby, you got a jam sandwich going on.
That's it. That is literally it.
I was expecting layers to this.
You were expecting better, weren't you?
Yeah.
Simplicity is the key with a croissant sandwich.
I mean, I've got previous with sandwich invention, and I'm really on the ball with it.
I watched Sam eat 5 croissants yesterday.
Holy
Maybe
shit.
6.
Yeah.
Really? Jesus.
I thought you were better with your diet these days, Sam.
Yeah.
Do you know what? That is me being better with my diet.
There was no salt on your croissant sandwich.
Not a lot.
God, I was about to say this podcast is already too Sam heavy, but now we're going to discuss putting Sam through a table. Because again,
New Year's resolution completed.
Something we teased for a while. I don't think John was really that up for it, but we got there. The table was there. We set it up, and we did it
3 times.
3 times. How are you feeling today?
Rough.
Yeah, we did it 3 times, as Sam said. Now, we do have the results on our YouTube channel, but please do not get excited to watch the bump of the year, because it didn't really go that well. I discovered it's much harder to choke slam someone. I'm really good at choking people. Choke slams are much harder than expected, and the one guy who's had any kind of wrestling training,
Yeah,
he didn't turn up.
I know, and I've done a choke slam and taken a choke slam.
Brett, in your professional opinion, watching the video, was it me or was it Adam who fucked up?
Well, I mean, it was mostly you, Sam.
Yes.
But it was a little bit Adam
Didn't
as
trust
well.
in it, Sam.
I'll take that.
Okay, well, you know.
I don't blame you, Sam. I mean, I
You
was
remove one card
terrified.
from a house of cards and it all falls
But
down.
to be honest, you know, like the bump you have to take, you know, for a choke slam, you're going through a table on like a floor which is very hard.
Well, there were 3 beanbags or 2 beanbags.
Were
on the
there?
floor under the table.
Underneath
we don't need
no.
to...
It's not supposed to reveal that.
Oh, you should have taken that better than Sam.
Well, hold on, because in my defence, I didn't trust Adam.
No, but this is the thing. He's just guiding you.
Exactly.
Well, I didn't know that. I thought he was lifting me up by my neck and then
you're
I was being gentle.
shouting.
you're high back bumping. You're like throwing yourself up in the air and cross that back.
You make it sound as if wrestling is fake and it's clearly real. So
When people watch the videos, they can be the judge of whether or not what happened in your kitchen was
the pain
fake
is real.
or real.
I just loved the outfit. I was like, oh, is it cold? Adam's in a t-shirt. It's not cold. Well, oh, hang on a minute. How many layers has Sam got underneath that coat?
Sam was worried about splinters, and rightly so.
I was worried about stabbing.
Yeah, there was some nasty bits of wood at the end of that. Which
Were
could
there?
have been...
Well, I did really enjoy sticking through the table. I couldn't help getting wood.
Was there any?
After the third bump, oh, Adam, you're bringing
my
the tone
days.
down of the show.
I am.
After the third bump, there was a huge, like, cracked piece of wood, like a Buffy the Vampire style stake that was right next to me. And I tell you, that gets to me, I'm dust.
Impaled.
So, yeah.
Mr. Pointy.
So, listeners, if that's whet your appetite, then head over to YouTube, type in "hardest part of the ring." You'll find our channel, and I've also
Bask in its glory.
The channel is basically just us abusing Sam as well, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
chops.
there's
table.
an old video of me chopping him back at I think that was Royal Rumble. Or was it, no, it was SummerSlam.
I feel
year
like
before last.
SummerSlam.
I have also just updated all our playlists on there. So now there is a playlist for all the pay-per-view reviews. There's a playlist for all the rewinds, all the top 5. So a lot easier to find old content if you want to have a look. And I've clipped some sounds so that listeners can... well, it's like a little teaser. So if you want to hear Sam make a noise like this... or like this... then yeah, head over to the YouTube channel and watch those videos.
Thanks, Adam.
Wait to hear those.
Out of context, they sound incredible. Right, we are 13 minutes in and we haven't talked about the pay-per-view we're here to discuss. So let's do it. Sam, tell us what the card is.
All right, so Royal Rumble 2020. We have pre-show Sheamus versus Shorty G.
No, we're not calling him Shorty G.
We had Sheamus versus Chad Gable.
Better.
Second pre-show match, we had Andrade with Zelina Vega versus Humberto Carrillo for the US title. Winner gets a 30-day break from the
Yeah, I was going to
WWE.
say.
And then onto the main card, we had... God, I forgot about this match. Roman Reigns versus King Corbin in a Falls Count Anywhere match. We had the Women's Royal Rumble. 30 women enter, 1 woman leaves. We had Lacey Evans versus Bayley for the WWE SmackDown Women's
God,
Championship.
I forgot about that match.
We had Daniel Bryan versus The Fiend Bray Wyatt in a strap match. That was followed up by Becky Lynch versus Asuka with Kairi Sane for the Raw Women's Championship. And the main event was the Men's Royal Rumble match for an opportunity at the World Championship at WrestleMania 36.
Well done.
Thanks.
So we are going to talk about the key matches, and basically I think a lot of this is going to be talking about the 2 Royal Rumble matches, which makes an awful lot of sense considering they were both very long and had 60 wrestlers in them. I think we'll talk about the Universal title match, The Fiend versus Daniel Bryan, and then we'll see how we're getting on. We'll talk about some best of the rest, worst of the rest, star performer, give it a rank, do some listener comments, and then switch off our microphones, hug our loved ones, sleep soundly, knowing that we've recorded more quality wrestling chat.
Sure.
Okay, so, right, Women's Royal Rumble is what we're going to talk about first. I've decided I'm going to list all the competitors.
Oh, okay. Strap yourselves in.
So, the Women's Royal Rumble match consisted of Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair, Mighty Molly, Nikki Cross, Lana, Mercedes Martinez, Liv Morgan, Mandy Rose, Candice LeRae, Sonya Deville, Kairi Sane, Maya Yim, Diana Brooke, Tamina, Dakota Kai, Chelsea Green, Charlotte, Naomi, Beth Phoenix, Toni Storm, Kelly, Sarah Logan, Natalia, Xia Li, Zelina Vega, Shotzi Blackheart, Carmella, Tegan Nox, Santina Morella, and Shayna Baszler.
Just quickly, who, Brooke?
I said Dana, didn't I?
I think you said Diana.
Yeah, sound like
Diana Brooke.
Did I say Diana? I don't think I did. It's the People's Princess. She's always in my heart.
Mia Yim threw you, and then Dana Brooke was a step too far.
I thought I'd absolutely smashed it. Oh,
I'd say you did really well on 28 out of 30 of those.
Yeah.
I think Xia Li was a little bit questionable too. But good job, Adam.
For God's sake. Brett.
Let's do it again. Go.
John and Sam and myself, we know how we felt. We spent the time together, so we don't need to talk about it. Brett, what did you think of the Women's Rumble match? Oh. And what happened? Did you watch it? Did you watch it with Lucy?
No, I didn't watch that match with Lucy. I did watch the main Rumble with Lucy.
Okay. Is it because you're always throwing out loads of sexist remarks when you watch women's wrestling and she can't handle it?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. No, what did you reckon?
No, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I loved how strong they booked Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
For a good period. I thought that was amazing, and she is strong as well, literally. So that was great. I thought Mighty Molly was definitely in there for way too long. And she,
I don't remember her getting out.
No, and she sort of like for a lot of period of time, she obviously being out of wrestling and everything, she just didn't really know what to be doing, and the camera lingered around with her sort of like taking shots that she wasn't taking and stuff like that. It was just a bit weird.
It was a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, and also I think my other favourite entrance in this, and they made them look strong for like that short period, was Mercedes Martinez.
Yeah.
Came in and just like put on a wrestling clinic for like a minute.
Mercedes Martinez has the best entrance music in all of WWE at the moment.
She's so
Possibly
good.
all of
Such
wrestling.
a good worker as well. Like, man, she is
good.
legit.
Yes.
Great signing.
Yeah.
Great to have her full time now. Going back to Bianca Belair, I think we can all agree we're all very impressed. Amazing for her to get such a big spotlight on her. Really,
push.
Yes.
Eight
the thing
eliminations.
is, looking over this kind of Rumble roster, you don't realise how NXT heavy it was until you look at it, and then it's like the majority of the people in this were NXT wrestlers.
There were 12
mad.
female
Yeah.
wrestlers, weren't there, from NXT? That is mad.
A lot more than in the men's, wasn't it? I felt like it was
Yeah, a huge amount. It goes to show they need to graduate a lot of these wrestlers up to a main roster, maybe.
I mean, there were only 2 in the men's, Riddle and Lee, but 12 in the women's. No Rhea Ripley, though, surprisingly.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I suppose.
There were a few kind of like absences which were quite interesting. Obviously, Sasha Banks was injured, but no Rhea Ripley, no Casey Catanzaro, no Deonna Purrazzo. Was she?
Those 2 aren't exactly big names, even on NXT. Are they?
No.
They hardly ever have matches.
Bigger than Kelly or Santina Morella.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
I can see like why they didn't put Rhea Ripley in it, because I think they want to keep her looking strong, and she wasn't in the
that
plans
makes
to win.
sense.
So
It does make sense.
Tamina was in this Rumble.
I know.
Let's move on. We've got so much to
She
talk about.
did only last a few seconds.
How low were those super kicks?
Oh, God.
They were like crotch.
I don't think they're super kicks when they're that low. It's just a kick.
That's one of the things I love about a Rumble, though, is when they come out and you just hear the audible groan of the crowd. Like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh man, this was a really good Rumble. I really enjoyed a lot of it. I think kind of
was so
the highlight
fun.
for me was Alexa Bliss and Bianca Belair and the feud they were having the whole way through.
Yeah.
And the elimination on Alexa Bliss was fucking phenomenal.
One of the best eliminations I've seen in a Rumble in a long time, I think. It was so innovative, I think, and
Yeah,
creative
absolutely
and
excellent.
brutal.
And what about Naomi's escape from elimination?
I mean, we popped hard for Naomi in general because it was great to hear her music again. But that throw, oh my God.
I really enjoyed a lot of Naomi's stuff. Like the knee slide under the super
Yes.
kick early doors was fantastic.
yeah,
that was
great.
executed.
But yeah, her little like run down the steps and leaping onto the barrier sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Momentum,
Very
like
impressive.
she totally nailed it. And then even the getting back in and stuff, like just hanging around on the tables for a while. And yeah, I thought that was really good.
And they made Shayna Baszler look so legitimately badass in this as well. I'm loving the fact that she kind of got a little bit of revenge on Shotzi Blackheart after the NXT Battle Royale.
Yeah, because she was joint highest eliminations, which is, I think, the joint record in the women's one with Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
8 each in one match. Which,
Yeah,
again,
absolutely.
is crazy to think that they've got that focus on the NXT stars. There are, I mean, we should probably talk about it. There are a lot of people who thought Baszler should have won the whole thing. I'm kind of in the camp that perhaps, she is still NXT. Maybe give her a call up before she starts winning Rumbles. But it did mean that Charlotte did win it.
So, fun fact about Charlotte winning this is the first year they did the Women's Royal Rumble, Asuka won it. The second year, Becky won it. The third year, Charlotte won it. So, next year, Dana Brooke, Dakota Kai, or, what's fucking the other girl's name with the D? God,
It's
I can't remember her
alphabetical
name.
order. Okay.
Yeah, Mandy Rose's partner.
Sonya Deville.
DeVille. Get ready. Big year.
Big year for
2021.
Deville.
Mate, I hadn't considered that
That's
at all.
how they're doing it.
I had
yeah.
no idea where you were going with that.
No, I was
yeah.
very
That's
confused.
impressive. I tell you what, man, in the 2030s, we're going to see a huge win for Xia Li.
Eventually, she's like, "Mate, it's my time. My time is coming." And then,
I
like,
quite
afraid your
like
contract's up.
Lee. I think she's all right.
Zelina Vega can't wait.
She's going to have
Super
to.
exciting.
Yeah. So, what do we think, John? What are your thoughts on Charlotte winning this Rumble?
I was disappointed just because it felt like the most. I mean, I predicted Charlotte winning, so if I'm predicting the winner, then it's the most obvious thing that could ever happen.
I mean, we all predicted Charlotte winning, didn't we?
Yeah.
I didn't make a prediction. I was going to, but the first thing I did in the morning, forgetting, was I opened Instagram, thinking I didn't follow any wrestling people, and then straight away I saw like an image of Charlotte, and for the men's thing as well, and I was like, I didn't read anything, but I was just like, oh, they won it, didn't they?
Oh, you
Yeah.
saw
Men's
both
one
winners.
must have been a shock for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I
that's
think
a shame.
Charlotte makes sense considering the result of the men's rumble. Push someone who's a bit
Yeah.
underused and put something a bit safer pair of hands for the other one.
I think Charlotte winning this Rumble is the kind of one where we'll look back in it in 10 years' time and just be like, she has to win it. You can't have a career like Charlotte's without having
Yeah.
a Rumble win under you.
Yeah, and also I think they just got to keep Charlotte in that champion spot, contender, constantly.
Yeah.
So this is just another way to keep her up there and
Yeah.
in those big matches.
Be interesting to see who she challenges. I've seen some weird reports
It's going to be
today.
Bailey, isn't it?
Well, I saw a report today that says it's going to be Rhea Ripley, that Charlotte's turning up on NXT this week.
Fuck off. Really?
That's what the dirt sheets are saying.
Oh,
That would
John.
actually be
John,
incredible.
don't tease me like that.
That would be amazing if she was just like, everyone's expecting me to face Becky or Bailey, but, I've been there, done that. I've come back to where I came from. You're the next biggest thing. I'm going to face you.
So Charlotte's going to wrestle Rhea, and Shayna's going to wrestle Bailey, and no, hold on.
I think Shayna's Becky.
going to wrestle Becky, and Bailey's going to wrestle Obscurity.
I mean, we can talk about Bailey later.
Yeah, that's definitely
before-
coming up.
Before we move on, can we just say how awesome the Mandy Rose Otis spot was?
Before we do that, can we talk about how amazing the Mandy Rose Sonya Deville promo was?
Oh
my god, that
The
was
wistful
awful.
look from Mandy. We
It looked like
enjoyed
someone
that a
hasn't
lot.
turned her on, like she just hasn't been plugged in yet. Like,
Mandy Rose
weird.
was still rebooting. She had mandatory updates.
what I loved about that elimination, because we were watching it and we were laughing our asses off when she rolled out of the ring. It's like, oh my god, she just threw herself out of the ring and rolled off. And then we saw that she lying on top of Otis. Oh, it's so funny.
And then we sort of discussed the fact that, when did Otis get under the ring? And obviously they've got the screens on three sides and it must be curtain on that far side so we can't see. But when did he get under there? And the life of somebody who's just waiting under a ring.
See,
must be very strange.
I've worked this one out now. It must have been during Roman Reigns versus King Corbin when no one gave a fuck.
When everybody when everybody was looking at them.
Yeah. Oh well,
Yeah.
yeah, that too maybe.
But then obviously we had it later in the night during the Fiend match where he just disappears. So he's obviously got under the ring. When does he come out again? Anyway,
Raw.
We still haven't talked about the main part of this Rumble, which was Beth Phoenix perhaps bleeding out halfway through.
Oh, I completely forgot about that. Good Lord.
Very good point. That was
My
a lot
God,
of blood,
that was-
Ric Flair-esque in that blonde
Oh.
hair.
It made it hard to enjoy, actually. Because it
Yeah,
was,
So it
really
made it
did.
easier for me.
especially because it was at the back of the head, so like
Yeah.
you know, everyone's thinking concussion and all sorts.
She seemed to like keep covering Charlotte in blood as well, didn't she? Because like at one
yeah.
point I thought Charlotte had taken a nose hit to the nose,
Yeah,
but it
yeah,
wasn't.
yeah.
It was just
So this is the thing: is that Beth Phoenix was in the ring for the 4th longest.
yeah.
That's absolutely insanely stupid. Like,
And a lot of that was during like having that
Yeah.
injury.
I like Beth Phoenix, but let's be frank here. She's a commentator. She shouldn't be, contributing major parts to this Rumble over a lot of the other wrestlers in this match.
I think she did well.
She did well, but the
She did
irritating
well.
thing is, it felt like the only reason they kept her in there for that long was that for that stupid spot with Santina.
Yeah, it didn't pay off at all for me.
I mean, obviously they had the Natalia stuff, them teaming up and then her chucking her over. We did keep saying, like, what is going on? Why doesn't she get some treatment? Why doesn't she go out for a bit? And then it was like, oh, okay, she's actually quite integral to this story.
It was a weird one. It just feels like kind of they could have used the time that Beth Phoenix was in the match to kind of maybe push someone else, maybe a Carmella or kind of anyone basically who's sort of more integral to WWE at the moment than Beth Phoenix, who from this she's going to go back and she's going to do commentary. It's not building anything.
Yeah, I was surprised they just didn't get it. Like, well, obviously AJ injured himself during the men's one, and they got him out of there ASAP.
Yeah.
I guess they know better than anyone about kind of the bleeding side of things. So that side, fair enough.
She did
but-
seem fine. I know head injuries are risky, but
The refs were constantly
Yeah,
chatting
they
to
were
her,
constantly
weren't
talking.
they, and
Yeah,
checking
they
and
were.
stuff.
yeah.
I just think the whole concept of what they were going for, it was a turd in the punch bowl for me.
It could have, like it only takes a second, like they do in football sometimes. Have a roll out, slap a,
Bit of Vaseline
thick
on it or something.
bit of Vaseline and some, head bandage.
It's just I was more concerned about the whole concussion thing because she did it by smacking the back of her head on a ring post,
Yeah.
and that is high risk.
They seem though like I don't know if those new ring posts, with the big platform and stuff, they just seem more lethal for cuts rather than how hard you hit it.
Yeah, I get the impression that maybe she didn't actually smash it that hard. She just bashed it and it
Right
just
on
gashed.
there,
It ju-
yeah.
and on at the back of your head where there's not much flesh, it's just easy to get a little split or a cut.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if only we'd got that in the videos.
Oh my god! If Sam had bled, that would have been so much better, wouldn't it? Like
It would have
just a
been.
bit of colour, just to make it feel a bit more real.
Yeah, why didn't you
Juicing.
blade? You fuck's sake,
Oh
Sam.
man, you should have bladed your forehead like a lunatic beforehand.
I really like my carpet.
Yeah, it's a nice carpet. Anyway, it was a great rumble. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it
Solid
was.
Rumble.
Yeah, only the 3rd ever women's rumble, so impressive
Best
stuff.
one?
I liked last year's.
I don't remember last year's.
Yeah, recency
Last
bias
year's
is
was
going to
really
say
good.
best one from
Yeah.
me.
I remember really liking last year's. But yeah, this was also good. Anyway, let's move on to the men's, which was, of course, the main event. Do you want to know the wrestlers and what order they came out?
Yeah, go
Go
on,
for
Adam.
it. Go.
You left a gap there. It was clear that you don't want to hear this.
No, because I think you're going to screw up on number 11 and then really fuck up 12.
Okay, this is
He's
based.
definitely going to fuck up 12.
This is based on the what I wrote down during the event. So you have to trust
Oh.
my notes.
Oh.
Men's Royal Rumble consisted of Brock Lesnar, Elias, Eric Rowan, Robert Roode, John Morrison, Kofi Kingston, Rey Mysterio, Big E, Cesaro, Shelton Benjamin, Shinsuke Nakamura, MVP, Keith Lee, Braun Strowman, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, The Miz, AJ Styles, Dolph Ziggler, Carl Anderson, Edge, Baron Corbin, Matt Riddle, Luke Gallows, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, Alistair Black, Samoa Joe, and Seth Rollins.
Good
All right.
work.
That
Good
was
work.
better than I expected. I thought you were going to go Monteo Vontavious Porter. But
Well, I'm looking at the Wikipedia page now. And
Yeah.
I looked at number 12, like, who the... Oh.
I was just thinking, you got the perfect setup there of a Japanese name followed up by a long name. Not a chance.
And
but-
and I messed up on Baron Corbin just because I only wrote down Corbin. Anyway, so this is very much a rumble of two halves, and I can confirm that Sam absolutely loved this. John also loved it. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, Brett, I won't put the pressure on you going to you straight away, but it was different, wasn't it?
I think this is my favourite Rumble of recent time.
I thought you were going to go to Brett there, and then John's just like, no, let's do this.
Yeah. Want to get this off my chest, guys. Need to get it off.
Come on, John. Tell us why.
That was it. I just loved this Rumble. I thought it was fantastic. I love that. I actually really like the whole Brock thing. And I was kind of hoping they were going to do it all the way. Like, he was just going to eliminate everyone.
I was worried. I was like, are we just going to have 30 like very mini squash matches in a row?
But it worked so well because they King made someone, basically, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. You know when Sam kept on going on about Asuka's win streak and just burying the entire roster? This is what I thought was going to happen in this Rumble when I was watching this first half. Especially when you had John Morrison come out, he's a big return for WWE and he was just gone.
Well, he's clearly not coming back to do anything impressive. He's just coming back to job.
Money. Yeah.
Which is fine by me. At least he was doing it with the likes of Elias and Eric Rowan and Robert Roode.
That sort of
Cesaro.
Yeah. But then, Kofi and Big E, and I was just like, oh, and then...
I strongly disagree with this.
Which part? With what?
Just generally kind of it being a disappointing, oh, no, I don't like this squash match kind of style thing. For me, it was kind of really evoking of Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, which is always going to be a winner for me, of just one person going through a bunch of challengers. And I thought they told lots of really good mini stories in those squashes. Kind of the stuff with Shelton Benjamin was excellent. The stuff with Kofi Kingston kind of getting a look in and kind of getting a measure of revenge on Brock Lesnar was excellent. The stuff with Keith Lee, amazing. Even then the payoff with Drew McIntyre, incredible. I was a huge fan of this.
I think we were saying that we were worried.
Yeah.
That it was just going to go.
For me, so I mean, I have to say I wasn't loving the first half, but it was different. It was, and
definitely.
It was all for the payoff, which was a big payoff when it happened, which was great. I was when Keith Lee was in there, and I was like, yes, and he knocked him down. I was like, go on, Keith, and then obviously he ended up getting them both out. That's the same time, and I was really disappointed.
The way Lesnar was selling those hits from Lee, though, there was a bit where Lesnar was in the corner and just looked shocked because he'd been knocked over.
Yeah.
I thought, that is brilliant. Lesnar can be amazing sometimes, especially his selling.
But we've always known Keith Lee is a giant of a man. Seeing him stood next to Brock, it was like, damn, Keith Lee is a giant.
Well, then seeing him stood next to Braun, and you realise how massive Braun is because he towered above him.
I sort of knew it was never going to happen, but I was hoping Bronson Reed was going to come out after Keith Lee. And it was just going to be a group of monsters, We were
worried that it was going to be Big Show and Kane.
Oh, God. Yeah, that would have been awful.
Yeah. Adam kept worrying us the whole way through the Rumble saying Kane is announced.
Yeah. I thought I heard that he was announced. I
think he
was
definitely... Yeah, I think he was at one stage. He was definitely in the poster at a point.
Yeah. And also, you've got
to make that Luke Gallows space.
Exactly.
Oh man, I think they did really well by Keith Lee by having him actually pose credible threat to Brock, and at the same time kind of did a good job of eliminating him and Braun by kind of having them both fighting each other and being distracted, and that being the only way Brock could eliminate them.
Yeah, that was good rather than him bossing them. And there was the crowd was trying. There was some in the crowd trying to get his Bask in His Glory chant going.
Yeah,
which was cool.
The company seemed really hot on Keith Lee at the moment, and I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. And I think during the time I was thinking, oh God, how long is this going to go? But with hindsight, definitely it was great, and massive props to Brock, because I think when we started this podcast, we had a lot of pay-per-views in a row where we were just like, oh my God, we hated on Brock. Every crowd was booing on him. He wasn't interested in any matches. But I think we've had quite a good string of pay-per-views now where he's been up against opponents that he's clearly motivated to face, and he's getting given good storylines and good opportunities, and he's really going for it.
Yeah, it feels like he's wrestling people who actually wants to wrestle. I wonder if the whole sort of UFC thing sort of dying a death a bit, like that, him going back into maybe that sort of refocused.
Yeah. I mean,
interesting.
what about his dancing for when MVP came?
Oh, that was awful. Okay, that was awful.
Nope.
That was bad.
His sweating as well.
Oh, so sweaty.
It was a tap at one point.
It was. Shelton Benjamin going in for the hug.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Keith Lee had got in the ring and like he just brushed against him once and like all his sweat was just all over him.
Yeah.
But then going back to pro Brock Lesnar, the guitar spot with Elias, strings first.
Yes, I
Beautiful.
saw that. I was like, what are you doing? You do not like that man.
No, that guitar did not look gimmick, did it?
No.
It did.
And then obviously shortly after that, I mean, we talked about it briefly, but the bit with Big E and Rey Mysterio and Kofi, that was great. We saw Brock leave the ground. He did that step-up clothesline.
That was
Oh,
so
yeah,
good.
on top of Big E, didn't he? He
Yeah.
stepped on...
You never see Brock do stuff like that. It was
Not since he's tried that superstar press. And
Oh, God. He's just about recovered and now he's willing to leave the ground again. But yeah.
I really think they did so well by a lot of the people in this. I know they put a lot of jobbers in there to kind of like build it up, but you know, every Royal Rumble is going to have 15 to 20 people or so who just like not even stand a chance of winning, are just there to make up the numbers. So why not just get rid of all of them and put one person over and then have that person put someone else over?
Yeah, when Drew eliminated him, I think it's the biggest pop I've heard from a WWE crowd in ages. They went berserk.
That combination though of like Ricochet's low blow and then Drew with the Claymore, that was great.
Claymore kick is so good. And I doubly enjoyed this because on our predictions, my man of the match was Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, we did a few predictions before we started watching. Obviously, Brett,
Yeah,
weren't able to do them, but yeah, it was. I think the fact that it was different is really good. I think I was thinking before this, I was like, I wonder which NXT UK stars might appear, or I'm looking forward to seeing Pete Dunne again, or I wonder which other NXT people will be in there. Obviously, like when you look at the list of people, if you saw that list before the Rumble, you might be like, that's a little bit weak. But I think all things considered, yeah, it was really great. And I mean, what we should probably talk about, which is probably the biggest pop, if not for the Claymore, obviously the man that came in at number 21.
The ultimate opportunist.
Edge.
How happy are you, Sam?
I'm over the moon. I love Edge. I'm such a big fan of him, and I think he still looks gorgeous regardless of whatever you guys say.
You did say before, you're like, I think maybe we'll see Edge, so it kind of ruined the surprise.
It was a bit rumoured, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I hadn't heard the
I'd
rumours.
seen something, so it wasn't a surprise. This wasn't a spoiler. I'd just seen rumours beforehand. I mean, although it was still a surprise because I just didn't think he was going to wrestle again. But
yeah, same. Yeah, I don't think there's any chance he'd come back.
No,
because he's doing the acting stuff. He's probably earning good money. Why come back and put your body through this?
I love the genuine emotion that you see on these guys when they return. And I watched Raw earlier, and his promo with Randy Orton on Raw, he was actually getting teary because it is real. It is real.
Did you not literally just him walking to the ring, like, you know, when he was just in the crowd, you could see him going, hold it in, for fuck's sake.
Loved it.
Don't let go.
Absolutely loved it. Do you know what my favourite part was the camera work.
Oh my God. Every spear they just cut away, didn't they?
Hey, this guy's about to do his first spear in 8 years or 9 years or whatever it is. Should we show it? Nah, let's not. Let's not.
They've been getting a lot of flack for that online. I've seen a lot of people cutting, like, you know, the Andre the Giant.
I saw this gif
slap.
as well. Yeah, it's really
someone's
funny.
cut it together, so it's just like the most emotional moment from WrestleMania. Hulk Hogan about to pick up Andre the Giant, cuts to crowd, and then it cuts back to just Andre the Giant on his back. So good.
Yeah,
amazing.
It wasn't great.
He was great though. I was impressed with him. Like,
he didn't look.
He looked like a homeless man.
He was
like
amazingly
a Viking.
Beautiful.
A Viking cross with a homeless man.
Yeah, I think he's kind of auditioning for Hobo with a Shotgun too.
Yes, definitely. I thought he was. He didn't look rusty, which was surprising. I thought he looked much.
He's in great shape.
Yeah, like when The Rock had missed a lot of time and he came back. Like, obviously he wasn't slow or anything, but he just didn't have that look of, you know, having that fluidity at all. And Edge looked like he still had that.
Yeah, he was in there for a long time as well.
It'll be interesting to see him in some kind of singles competition, just because I think it's quite easy to hide sort of in a Royal Rumble. So it would be very interesting. But what we did see was really great, and I'm loving kind of the build with him and Randy Orton. I think that's excellent.
Yeah. I think I've seen some people criticise it and just being like, oh, just going back to the past again. But this is one of the special things about WWE, that the amount of history they've got.
Yeah.
It's great to see. We're not watching some cool, trendy indie promotion. We're watching WWE here, and I think people want to see it.
I'm a big fan of this. Like, Randy Orton has established history with Edge. They were a dominant tag team for a long time, and Randy Orton's thing is he's the legend killer. You know, Edge is a legend. It's just this great story. If this was New Japan, people would be creaming themselves over it.
and with Edge's with Edge's neck, you just thought, Randy, please don't literally kill him.
Did you see any of Raw or read what happened?
I read the spoilers.
Yeah, I saw a clip or something of the chair shot.
Yeah, he stuck the chair over his head and then reconsidered. But I mean, it was all really well done, and I'm looking forward to it. Considering, again, at the start when we started this podcast, I was not a fan of Randy Orton, but I've sort of come around a little bit more to him now.
When Randy Orton is invested in his storyline or his gimmick, I think he's excellent.
Yeah, it's peaks and troughs with Randy, isn't it? A bit like Brock, actually. They're very similar in that regard.
Yeah.
Last little bits on this match. Great to see Matt Riddle. Real shame that we got trolled, basically, and Baron Corbin just chucks him out and does the hand signals. I bet you loved that, Brett.
I was spitting feathers. I was.
I'd love to have seen Matt Riddle in there for a bit longer.
Yeah, it was so exciting to have Matt Riddle in there and, you know, fly and do his little flip-flop thing and all that. But yeah, for of all people to eliminate him.
That's good storytelling.
Just adds to his heel persona, doesn't it?
Exactly.
It does, yeah. I think that's exactly it, isn't it?
He is the ultimate troll.
It's a very calculated elimination.
Yeah.
Oh my God, can we just go back though? Sorry, talking about Matt Riddle. Oh God, that promo in Worlds Collide was astonishing.
Oh wow, going really far back.
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to mention it because I read about it again today. Just basically the little puns to do with getting stoned. Saying,
I haven't seen this yet.
No, me either.
Very funny.
Pete Dunne makes a couple of jokes, a couple of comments where he's like, "Riddle's going to smoke you two" about Grizzled Young veterans, and then and then he's about to talk, and he goes, "Can I be blunt?" And then Riddle turns round, and he's like, "Huh?" And he's looking at the crowd, like shrugging his shoulders, and everyone's cheering.
Man,
it's so funny.
The promo before that, I didn't understand a word Zach Gibson said.
Oh, what?
But I did see that. What's his partner? I can't
James
remember
Drake.
his name. James Drake mouthing the promo alongside him, but not actually into
he
the
does
mic.
that, and it looks very weird. But
It's
all
a
in
bit
all,
strange,
it was good.
that.
But yeah, back to this. I think one little mention that we should have to. I quite enjoyed all the Rollins stable stuff. Them coming in, getting involved.
Me too.
Yeah, it looked like Rollins was going to kind of storm it,
Yeah.
and then kind of like the actual stable fighting other people all the way to the back, and Rollins being like, "Well, what about the plan?"
Yeah.
I thought it was executed really well.
I like what they're doing with Rollins at the moment. I like him as a heel. I love
because he's easy to dislike, especially when he gets on Twitter. So, you know, stick to being a heel.
Yeah, agreed.
I love a stable, to be honest.
Yeah, there's a lot of green shoots on Raw at the moment, aren't there? There's a lot of good bits and pieces going on.
They've got a good deal to kind of work with on the way to WrestleMania.
They have.
Every time I see him now and he appears, I'm more and more of a fan of Kevin Owens. I know, like, we all love Kevin Owens anyway, but when he comes in and he's hitting the stunners and stuff, it's just awesome.
Yeah.
And I loved the fact that we knew that people like Kevin Owens and Aleister Black weren't going to win.
Yeah.
But for them, you know, to be eliminated, but then to, like, attack, you know, them to be eliminated at the hands of Seth Rollins' group, and then to, like, start beating on them, and so that continued.
Take them out.
That was great.
Then it went up the ramp. Yeah, that was a good way of doing it, actually. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. And then obviously down to the final two, we had the crowd being very worried that Reigns was going to win it. I think we were worried that Reigns was going to win
we're terrified. He's perfect for being one of the last guys, isn't he? Because no one wants Reigns, so whoever eliminates him till gets a huge pop.
Yeah.
Because we're on this long story of the Reigns redemption, and there is time to go yet. I mean, obviously, returning from illness, he was getting a lot of sympathy, but he shouldn't be main eventing just yet, and I think the crowd would have gone mad.
I think putting on a 20-minute Falls Count Anywhere match, which was the most boring thing I'd ever seen, probably wouldn't have driven the crowd to like him that much more. But I think there was a point when we were watching this, and I think we were all saying there is a 50-50 chance that this is going to go down as one of the worst Royal Rumbles or one of the best Royal Rumbles, depending on who is about to eliminate who. And they did such a good job as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Reigns had a load of heat on him because he eliminated Edge, didn't he?
Yeah.
So everyone was like, "Oh, we don't want Reigns. Don't want Reigns." It's done perfectly.
Yeah.
Good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good Rumble.
They've been doing it for years. They're always good.
They're not always good. Sometimes Randy Orton wins it. Sometimes Triple H wins it.
But there's always a moment, you know.
Do you remember that time Roman Reigns ran it and everyone was like really upset?
Really upset.
But the process of watching a Rumble is always so fun. The fact that you get that countdown.
You get the hope, don't you?
Yeah, I think that's all it is down to, isn't it? The hope. Each new person is like, and then like the people you want to see aren't in it.
Some people still have the hope. Who was your surprise entrant prediction, Adam?
Well, we shouldn't talk about that, should we?
Who was it? Go on.
I wrote down CM Punk just because I thought if I get it right, it'll be amazing. I know. I just thought it might happen.
If that happened, would you be more happy that Punk has returned or the fact you got it right?
I wouldn't be that happy about Punk returning just because of the way that it's been handled so far, like the way he's sort of semi-returned. But I imagine the reaction. I think a bit of both.
Crowd reaction would have been through the roof.
Yeah.
Maybe next year.
You just need Punk to want to love wrestling again, don't you? Forget all the backstage business stuff. I think he just doesn't love wrestling anymore.
Yeah. I think if he did want to come back, I think he'd go AEW just to...
Well, you think even after I guess, it's WWE, but it's Fox, isn't it? He's on. So.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's wrestling. Like, you got Bret Hart back in a WWE ring.
Yeah.
You can get anyone back in a WWE ring.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, we should definitely move on because we are nearly 50 minutes in and we've only done 2 matches.
2 Rumbles.
But that's the nature.
Yeah, because plus with the Rumbles, it kind of takes the shine off the single matches. No one remembers the single matches in the Rumble.
No. Okay, well, we can fly through them. Should we have a little break first?
Let's have a break.
Let's do it.
And now the power comes out. And Lacey Lane bounced off the apron.
And that is the hardest part of the ring. Nothing but steel under that.
Oh, no. This is bad. This is bad.
Okay, we're back. And because we spent so long talking about those 2 Rumble matches, we're going to go straight on to Best of the Rest. And we're probably going to talk about... Are we going to talk about the Universal title match in this? Was it Best of the Rest? I suppose if we're comparing it to the other matches, it probably was, right? What did you think?
It was the Fiend's best match to date.
Yep, I agree with that.
I mean, I really did enjoy the one in Saudi with Seth Rollins, but I'm not supposed to admit that. So.
Yeah, didn't watch that one because we are people of principle.
There was a good chunk of this match where it just felt like it was the wrestling version of the Passion of Christ. Like, there was just so much whipping. I was like, surely there's something else you can do with a strap.
I've never seen a strap match before. This is my first strap match. I liked it though. I really, really enjoyed it.
I
think it was good because Daniel Bryan was in it.
Oh my god, yeah, so good.
The Fiend, I was worried. I think I commented after like the first 5 minutes. I was just like, Bray Wyatt doesn't wrestle anymore. Like, he doesn't have wrestling matches. They're just these weird matches where he just doesn't. Yeah, he just doesn't really do an awful lot. But as the match went on, he did start wrestling a little bit.
A lot of people would say Bray Wyatt never wrestled before either. He's always been all show, no substance. But I thought the match was a slow starter, obviously, with all the whipping and stuff, but it built really nicely into a solid finish. The Sister Abigail counter from the knee was amazing.
Yeah.
And I thought the finish was really good as well with the mandible claw.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the finish.
I mean, that's one man's opinion in a podcast, by all means.
Don't have a crisis of confidence, Sam.
Yeah, no, you stick with it, Sam. I did not I didn't think it needed to be a strap match because it didn't add anything apart from whipping.
I can see that.
I expected, like, because of the size of Bray and, you know, he was the Fiend character, I expected Daniel Bryan just to be, like, flung around a bit more.
Like, lasso him in the air.
Well, just like, you know, where he really yanks the strap and, like, Daniel Bryan's just, like, flung into him rather than, you know. The only time they did something was that Daniel Bryan hit him against the post a few times.
What about the S-lock towards the end? That was pretty good.
With the strap, that looked really good.
Oh, that was good.
I think kind of the storyline for this match kind of made a lot of sense. It's a rarely used match, the strap match. It's not like we see a huge amount of them.
True.
I think kind of like the way they built it made sense, and I was on board with it. I think, as you say, it was kind of whip heavy, but I suppose kind of like if you're going into a strap match, that's sort of what you're going to expect.
I think they just wanted Daniel Bryan to look welted up.
Yeah,
he was
so pale.
I think that was like what they wanted payoff wise at the end, for him to look like he'd been through the ringer.
I loved him selling the walk up the ramp as well on the way back, like being carried and everyone doing the yes chant.
I have to say I skipped that because that just like was taking ages.
It was it did take a while. I'm with Sam on this match though. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it kind of ebbed and flowed, like it was a bit of to and fro, like the Fiend was dominant, but then Daniel Bryan sort of fought back. And then the Fiend just overpowered him. I said it when
we were watching, but I had a bit of a New Japan vibe from this.
I thought it was good storytelling.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
50-50 split.
John and Sam Alliance.
Yeah, I didn't dislike it. I like the Fiend and I like Bray Wyatt and I like everything they're doing with him. It's just weird. It's sometimes during the match, it's like, is this a wrestling match? What is happening here? But then Daniel Bryan just elevates pretty much anything that he is involved in. So I did like it. I did like it, but cool. Not a huge amount to say about it. So let's move on. Any other best of the rest?
Go to Becky Lynch, Asuka.
Yeah, definitely. That was my best of the rest.
Why did you like it, Brett?
Just because I think Asuka is amazing character-wise, like, and her wrestling. Yep. But like, you know, just when the fact that she just like starts throwing out all her Japanese, you know, she could be saying like, I need to do my washing up when I get home or something, but it sounds amazing. Who knows what she's saying?
If you watch her YouTube channel, she'll actually be saying that quite a lot. You'd be surprised.
It needn't be like relevant. It's just so much fun, and she looks like she loves her wrestling as well. Oh, you know, like so someone good. When they're in the ring, like she's enjoying every moment of it.
There were two moments for me in this match which I really enjoyed. The first was Becky throwing Asuka off the apron, just kind of countering the suplex. That was such a good spot.
I think that's the worst bump painful. I've seen someone take. She just like awful. It was like from like second rope high horizontal all the way down. I mean, like Asuka took it perfectly, but it just looks like that would hurt. Such a nasty bump. Such a nasty
As a man who has been through a table, I can
oh god, we're going to get this so much now,
that looked.
Here we go.
No, it was really good. Just kind of looked really brutal. The whole kind of theme of this match was excellently done. And then the finish, I thought, with the spray was just perfectly done.
The green mist.
The green mist.
MISSED.
And I have to say...
Brett, stop me. Spell that in your head.
I wasn't listening.
Oh God! I said that in the living room, and Sam was like, "Save it for the pod. Save it for the pod because that is going to take you to the next level." Okay. Well, I'm just going to sit this one out now, guys.
Hey, that's what makes us the 60th most popular podcast in Britain.
MISSED. Sam, we're not the 60th most popular podcast in Britain. Don't talk about stats, okay? Listener, that's going to sound very cryptic and weird. But we discovered we're the 60th most popular podcast in Britain on a certain list.
Which we're taking as gospel truth.
One that Jericho has written. Anyway, let's get back to the match. It was a great match, right?
I thought it was okay.
Oh, I enjoyed this quite a lot.
I really like the finish, but the rest of the match kind of just passed me by a little bit.
I've got an admission to make, actually, is that when we get together to watch wrestling, I find it really hard to actually take in the wrestling. Because obviously whenever we were doing it solo, I'm literally there. Quite often I'll be watching it on my laptop with headphones on or something, and I have no choice. Nobody's talking to me. I'm not getting distracted by somebody offering me a croissant sandwich. I'm just watching the match. Whereas obviously at Sam's, it's more social. There's chatting, there's jokes. You know, everyone's having a laugh. Tables being set up, splinters being picked out of backsides. There were distractions. So this match, I've hardly got any notes, and I don't really remember. But I know I like these two wrestlers a lot, and it was probably very good.
I think it suffered from its position in the card.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure these two can obviously put on like a 5-star match. I'm not doubting that. I just think this one, like, it wasn't bad. It just didn't really.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't like. It was my best of the rest, but that's because the rest was not that great.
Yeah. Should we talk about some not great stuff?
This.
Yeah, shall we go on to worst of the rest?
Yeah, let's do it. And again, you know, as per usual, we don't want to spend absolutely ages slagging stuff off, even though it could be quite easy with some of these things. But any particular aspects of the bad matches, Sam?
So I bought quite a lot of croissants.
Yeah.
And I understand John is vegan. That's fine. He doesn't want to play
for the month of
game.
January.
He doesn't have to.
John, are you going to go full-time vegan?
No, not until they crack vegan cheese.
Okay.
My worst of the rest was that Adam ate only one croissant. Just one, man. You couldn't have had a sandwich. I invented a sandwich.
Got to keep his figure trim.
Yeah. In all seriousness.
Croissants aren't bad for you. They're basically just air.
So bad.
Just butter.
It's
So
butter.
much
That's
butter.
what all that is. It's just butter and air.
Calories in a croissant is, I mean, it's ridiculous. We had a Subway for lunch. So just to disclose that, I knew that I was getting calories. I went calorie heavy. I had all the sauces. I had loads of stuff. I went cheese and toasted, guys.
I had the vegan meatball marinara, and it was fucking banging.
But yeah,
Highlight of the weekend for me, guys. I'll be honest with you.
I mean, it was your birthday weekend, so that's a sorry state of affairs. But yeah, I can't even remember what we were talking about. That was your worst of the rest. Is that what you're telling us?
Well, that and the Falls Count Anywhere match.
Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
I didn't mind the Falls Count Anywhere match because there were some fun parts to it. My shout would probably be Bayley versus Lacey Evans.
Yeah, that match was nothing, was it?
Yeah, for me, both equally awful.
I don't remember the last time I was invested in anything to do with Bayley, or even cared or enjoyed a Bayley match apart from when she was in NXT.
Yeah, I feel like her heel persona can
it's
work.
It's good.
I just don't think they've put like a storyline around her, or like put her in a feud with anyone that matters.
They've done a bit of a stealth face turn on Lacey Evans, haven't they?
Yeah, I'm not on board with that
Yeah,
either.
but I was like, is
this.
this heel versus heel? And then I saw they had her
Daughter.
partner and daughter,
Yeah.
and I was like, she's a face now, isn't she?
And we all know that's your favourite thing, John.
What's that?
Whenever someo's family gets involved.
It's just, you knew it was going to happen in this match. At one point, Bayley was going to be having a rope, sort of doing some move on her and just yelling at the kid. I'm like,
Yeah, but was it not
kid's only a
cool though?
kid.
That kid was like, in her hat, looking all like, sweet and dainty. Then when the hat came off, and you could see like
Surprise,
she
it's
was
Dolph Ziggler.
missing her,
She did look like Dolph Ziggler.
missing her front teeth, and
Yeah,
like
she's a thug.
But yeah, but the thing was like she was like loving it when even her mum was getting beat by Bayley at that point, but she was loving it.
Yeah, she doesn't have the acting chops of someone like Mrs. Dad. Or,
She's no Dominic.
I mean, this was a bad match when we spent half of it chatting about whether or not seasons make good kids' names, because Lacey Evans' daughter is called Summer. We were talking about Autumn. Autumn's an okay name.
I
isn't
like
it?
Autumn.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
I think the
Winter-
ranking goes.
You don't get many people called
pretty
Winter.
good though. I can get on board with Winter.
Winter's more like a surname, isn't it? Or Winters anyway.
Well, yeah, and then Spring. I don't think anybody's called Spring.
I'm still going with Spring. Spring Andrews one day.
That sounds quite good, actually.
Does
Your
sound like
firstborn
someone you
child.
get on like Chat Babe or something like that, maybe.
Chat Babe.
Chat
Babe.
Babe.
Chat Babe.
Is that what?
Guys, I'm sorry,
Babe
we've got to add
Station,
an
that's
extra
the
half
one
an
I was
hour
thinking
to the podcast to discuss Chat Babe.
Chat Babe. Oh my God! Tune in to Chat Babe. It's just John,
Just me.
wobbling a phone,
I'm
Eating a
John,
big,
and I'm
like a
Spring
foot long
Andrews.
Eating a
meatball
foot-
marinara.
taking a foot long. Chat Babe. Bloody hell. What about the Falls Count Anywhere? Should we talk about? I mean, there was some good stuff on there. There was some Portaloo action.
Oh,
We
no
got a
Brown.
good tour of the Minute Maid Park.
I've got nothing to say about this match, really.
Yeah, I did
I've got
not
nothing.
like
I
this
didn't
at
like
all.
it.
And it went on, like, it seemed like it just went on forever.
It was long, wasn't it?
And this was like the start of the pay-per-view. I was just like, oh, this is
It was too long. It was too long to kick off a pay-per-view.
Yeah, and
especially
and
because
too boring. Too long, too boring.
And I think a lot of people will have expected the Women's Rumble match to kick off the pay-per-view. So it's like, oh, it's this first. Okay, we'll get this out of the way.
That is one thing that WWE were doing good with their pay-per-views, was having a real, like, good, energetic, great starting match to kick things off. And they seem to have just dumped that.
Certainly.
Shame.
Correct. Yeah, shame. Okay. We could go on, but we will not. Instead, we'll pick our star performer, which is going to be tough considering how many performers there were on this card. Who are we going to go for? John, have you got yours?
I'm going to go Drew McIntyre because that was a fantastic performance. So yeah, Drew McIntyre.
Okay, I'm going to go next because I've actually got one. It's going to be Bianca Belair for me. Standout performance, so great that she got given that chance to shine, and she truly did. And I'm very excited about her future. Sam?
It is between those two. I think maybe Drew Mac.
Okay.
Is that what he's going by now? He's been rebranded. It's going to be a tag team with Shorty G and Drew Mac.
Yeah, he'll be Drew Mac soon enough, and then just Mac. What about you, Brett?
I'm going to split the pod 50-50. I'm going Bianca Belair.
Ooh. Nice.
Beautiful. So you got both of those guys in the draft.
Oh, is it
this
you?
Guy.
Oh,
yeah.
this God. That's fucking cool. Well done. Probably the best thing you've ever done in your life.
I know how probably uncool
it's up there with the table
really is.
and the croissant sandwich.
What a great...
And my future debut on Chat Babe.
Oh, please no. We're now going to rank the pay-per-view, give it a score out of 10, work out the average. Actually, I'm not going to reveal last year because I don't want it to influence this year, just in case it does. But Sam, what are you going to give this year's Rumble?
I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I think kind of the Falls Count Anywhere and the Bailey match kind of brought that score down a little bit.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. John?
I agree, 8 out of 10.
I'm also going to go for an 8 out of 10. Brett?
Come on, you can make this really easy for me, Brett.
I'm going to go 7 out of 10.
You're a dick.
Oh, wow.
It's a 7.75.
7.75, and I will let you know that last year's Royal Rumble got an average of 8.6.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
we loved it.
I'm going to have to go back and rewatch
Seth
that.
won the Rumble matches.
Oh,
we had
Becky
an Aleister
winning.
Black debut.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Pete Dunne making an appearance. There were just lots of exciting appearances last year, if I remember
That's
rightly.
interesting, because I do feel like I enjoyed this Rumble more than last year's.
Yeah,
but
me too. Me too.
Obviously
as
not.
Scott Steiner says, the numbers don't lie, and they spell out disaster for you.
Yeah, I think it's clear to say that you think the 2019 Rumble was better than the 2020 Rumble.
Keep saying it.
It's going to be a thing. Okay, let's have a quick break and then let's hear what our listeners thought.
And Ripley, backdrop, spine first on the hardest part of the ring.
John, what have we been doing?
So we asked the listeners to send us their top 3 moments from the Royal Rumble. We've had quite a lot, actually. Let's get going. So Michael Dennin, number 3 was Andrade versus Umberto. The
first
Bongo?
one. He's fucked up the first one.
Yeah,
Kill someone Bongo right now.
the guy they're burying at the moment. Brett, did you watch that? Is that any good?
I didn't. I haven't catched the pre-show. That must be amazing, though, those two guys.
The match on Raw last night was pretty good. Umberto, right at the end, DDT'd Andrade into the concrete underneath the padding. It looked nasty. I think they're finally giving him some character. But anyway, yeah.
Also, number 2, Drew eliminating Brock. And number 1, Drew winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't argue with those. Capital Can Place, his number 3 was Bianca Belair performance in the Rumble.
Can I just pause you there? Because I worked out the Bianca Belair mystery. This is like the national treasure for me. I'm so happy I got this.
Ask Brett
What
he
is
thinks
the
it
mystery?
'cause it might be common knowledge.
What is the EST on Bianca Belair?
Oh, she's like the strongest, the fittest, the fastest.
You dick!
She did it in a promo.
What?
Sam thought he'd worked it out. He was so happy, honestly.
I'm literally throwing away my corkboard.
To be fair, all of our minds were blown when he said it. I was like, no way, that's amazing.
Wow, we missed
I
that
had
promo.
like a Da Vinci
Yeah.
Code moment.
Oh
where
no,
I
yeah, there
worked
was a
it out.
promo like early days on NXT
No,
because she was
no,
like CrossFit
no.
person, so they do everything. So yeah.
Oh.
Sorry,
Well,
Sam.
there we go. Bad luck, Sam.
Sorry on your parade.
Capital Crown face number 2, Drew eliminating Brock, and number 1, Edge returning.
Yeah, great moments.
They are great. There's a lot of good moments in this Rumble. Loserweight, number 3, Edge being in the final 3 of the Rumble. Number 2, the pop for Edge being in the Rumble. Number 1, Edge being in the Rumble.
Nice.
Yeah. I like the way you're doing these in reverse order, even though they've all been...
I thought build it up to number 1, right? You don't start with number 1.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Richie B has been in touch. Number 3, Edge returning, rated RKO. Bianca Belair, surely the future Rumble winner. And number 1, Drew winning. And the Drew Brock WrestleMania match that is coming.
Yes.
One more point as well. He says, and not to be negative or anything, but did Charlotte really need to win the one Rumble? She's amazing already. It could have done so much more for anyone else.
Yeah.
It's her first Rumble win.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's easy to forget, really. It's a weird one because she's just so head and shoulders above... she's just such an iconic female wrestler. She does deserve to be at the top of the card, but sometimes you just get a feeling that it's just because she's Charlotte.
Yeah.
I do understand. It is kind of like a bit of an exercise in ticking the boxes, but like kind of, I think they did well by the Rumble and kind of gave us a good finish. I know kind of Charlotte winning is not exactly the most exciting, but I think kind of, she is also probably the best women's wrestler in the world. So
and
also,
she gets to be full heel now, which is always good.
Do you think we would have been like talking? I mean, I know obviously there's a lot more talking about wrestling and stuff in general, but like the Stone Cold or the Rock back in their day when they were winning this, that, and the other, and everything.
Exactly.
Like we wouldn't have been on, but they don't need it. It's like
good point.
True.
Charlotte's at the, she's not got a belt, but she's at the top, so she should be winning. She's a boss.
Good
Not
point,
the
Brett.
legit
she's
boss,
not
but
the boss. No.
I've come round to it, Brett. Talk me round.
Yeah. Sold.
Okay, last one. Adam Hepton's been in touch. I'm going to start with the worst. So, worst, cameraman missing the first spear from Edge in 9 years. Lack of women on the main roster participating in the Rumble. And Santina Marella. Missed out on pure beef off without Big E joining the Brock, Braun, Keith Lee segment.
Yeah, that could have been good.
Yeah, that would have
I
been.
enjoyed Big E's involvement anyway.
Best. NXT Women's Division showcased as the best in the company, even without some. Edge and Phoenix weren't token inclusions, both great showings. Bryan continues as the best overall worker in WWE, knows when and how to sell push angles.
True. Very
The
true.
way you said that, it felt like a kind of phrase like push Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
push angles off
Adam's
the
just at the end. He just
More
wants
Kurt Angles.
more Kurt Angle. Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you very much to everybody. Sounds like most people agreed with us on pretty much everything we said. I think that's
Good
what we
Rumble.
can conclude.
Good Rumble.
Good Rumble. So that's it for the review of that Rumble. We will be back. I think keep an eye on our social media for news of what's coming up. Obviously, we are well aware that we are building to episode 100. It's coming just around the corner. We have some plans. We had some plans, and suddenly it's all crept up on us. So
We are pointing at the sign that says episode 100.
we are, but with puzzled faces.
Actually, no one's
So-
committing
The
to
Ronda
pointing at the
Rousey
sign at the
point.
moment. We're just pointing in the general direction, but not actually at the sign.
No, exactly. So, Brett, if people want to keep in touch and keep aware of what we are going to do for episode 100 or what we're even going to do for episode 98, because there's a very good chance we might have a couple of weeks off now because Sam's going away and all this kind of stuff. How can people keep tabs on us?
Right, they can send their emails to hardestpartofthering@gmail.com.
Yeah.
They can get us on Instagram, Facebook or Twitter. We are at hardestpartpod. And that's
Okay.
that for now.
Okay, very nice. Thank you very much, Brett. Thank you very much to everybody for tuning in. If you have enjoyed the podcast so far this year, 2020, then please get over to Apple and give us a rating and a review and all that stuff so more people can find the podcast, because that's what podcast hosts ask for.
If
and
you
also,
rate us, I will send a croissant sandwich to your house.
ooh,
Ready made.
Personally.
Squashed in your hands. Could you
that is
imagine?
impressive.
In like a mini air envelope turning up. That'd be gross.
My God.
Jam everywhere.
Wow. Okay, well, for everyone else who wants a croissant sandwich, let me know.
Yeah, give Sam a shout. One final thing I wanted to say, Pod Bible magazine, the first issue of the year is coming out on Sunday. It's going to be available in the Sunday Times. 40,000 issues are going out in the Sunday Times. I work on that magazine with Stuart Whiffen and Scroobius Pip, and it has had a lot of work going into it, so please go and check that out if you want to. Loads of information on other podcasts that you can go and listen to, as long as you only download this one first. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Sam.
Hey, man. Thank you.
Hey, man.
Bro.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, Brett.
Thanks, everyone.
That was the hardest part of the ring.
That is the hardest